Alright, what's going on, y'all? This is Omar. I am glad to be back. I'm glad to make another video for you. I just got back in town. I took an out-of-town trip to LA. I was staying out in Long Beach, as a matter of fact, with my cousin. You know, so I was out of town for a young adult conference. Folks from all over, folks from different churches of Christ that came into the area. We had a great event. It was a lot of fun. Definitely getting into the word, getting into the scripture, you know, and we was able to, you know, talk and discuss a lot of things that can maybe help us be more motivated to be about the kingdom's business. So I just want to send a shout out to the Snacks Conference for that excellent weekend. Alright, so I just got back in town, but you know what? I said, you know, I have to do this video, man, because I've been wanting to do this video for maybe about like a week and a half now. So check this out. Y'all know I'm a reader, right? I like to read. I like mainly to do self-improvement books. I picked up this book, The 48 Laws of Power. Y'all can see that. The 48 Laws of Power, maybe about like a month ago. Man, let me tell you something. I've heard reviews of this book where, you know, hey, the book is intense, it's interesting, but man, this book right here is a heavy hitter, man. It's definitely a heavy hitter. I remember I was talking to this one woman, Elise, who I was going out with at the time. I told her that, you know, once I got this book, and I was afraid that this kind of book was going to turn me into some kind of a warlord because it's that powerful and that intense. And that's exactly what this book is about. So what I want to do today is I want to give like a kind of like a review of the first half of the book. I'm in chapter 31 now, so each chapter, each law has a different chapter. So I wanted to give a review for the first half of the book, for the first 28 chapters, and then later on do a review for the second half once I complete the book. So what I did is that out of those first 28 chapters that I read, I picked out six of those laws that stood out to me the most, and something that I can definitely put into practice, you know, put into application when it come down to different areas of my life. So I just want to just share these 6 laws and the reason behind why I chose these 6 laws. Alright. Now the first one I got listed here is to never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use your enemies. Think about that for a minute, because this book is very strategic when it comes to making life choices. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use your enemies. And it kind of goes along with that cliche saying, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. But what that law is saying is that you have to know how to use your enemies. It gave a great example of how he had this one guy who rose to the high stage. He rose to prominence, and he ended up having a best friend work for him. And the whole time while the best friend was working for him, the best friend was kind of taking his position for granted, because he felt like, I don't have to work as hard. I see all this cool stuff that my friend is getting. I can rise to prominence too, just off of someone else's coattail. And the end result of that was that the friend that got hired to work for the powerful person, he ended up becoming more powerful than the person that brought him on. And it went to his head to the point where he wanted to actually take over, and he killed his own best friend. Ain't that something? But the guy who was considered an enemy, he was better off having that guy in his corner, because he had nothing. He wouldn't have backstabbed him. He actually would have had solutions that could have helped him make a better leader. So it all goes to that saying, you know, got to keep your circle small. Those main ones that's claiming, oh, this has been my day one since 97, 98. Those are the ones that you really got to look out for. Because they can low-key be plotting against you. They can low-key be envying you with some of your success, with some of your accomplishments. And quiet as a cat, they can be the ones that end up destroying you. I told y'all, man, this book is deep, man. This book is really deep. The second one I got listed over here, it says, so much depends on your reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation. You have a reputation. I have a reputation. The guy next door has a reputation. That reputation is powerful, man, because that's how people view you. If you have a reputation as a hard worker, guess what? People want you to work for them. If you got a reputation of being a trusted friend, people gonna be more likely to tell you their secrets. So reputation is something that already precedes you to where people got this idea of who you are and that they treat you accordingly. So I like how they broke that law down too, because it makes perfect sense, especially out here in this world. The third one I have is win through your actions, not by your argument. Win through your actions, not by your argument. A lot of us like to win arguments. We like to tell somebody off, win an argument, rather than rolling up our sleeves and going out there putting in work. You tell me something. Which one is more efficient? Doing some of your actions or just saying something? Just using a whole bunch of lip service? That's why a lot of us don't have much accomplished now, because we want to get props of what we say. How smooth it sounds rather than actually putting in the work. So I like how they broke that law down. And the fourth one I got listed here is law number 15. Crush your enemy totally. Look, when I just read the title of that chapter, I just looked around. I'm like, oh, that's enough to shout and go home right there. Crushing your enemy totally. And I'm glad it actually gave biblical accounts on how God told his people to go out and destroy a group of people, and they didn't end up doing it. That ended up being their downfall. Oh, we're not going to destroy everybody. We're just going to kill about 80% and take the good that's left. No. When you're supposed to destroy completely, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Especially when it comes to your enemies. The person that's out to destroy you from the get-go. You want your foot on his neck. You don't want him to get a chance to breathe out here. I'm telling y'all, this how real the game is out here, man. You can't hold no prisoners. Y'all seen a video I made a while back called Dominating Your Environment? That's exactly what it's talking about. You crushing everything. What else I got listed down here? I got, law number 19, and this is actually a funny one. It says, know who you're dealing with, but don't offend the wrong people. I kind of just put my head down after I done read that chapter, and especially after I done looked at the title of that chapter, because that's just something that I was guilty of, man. Because think about it, when you out in social settings, when you out in the workplace, or whether it be someone's home, I like to crack jokes. I like to talk trash, crack jokes. You know, I'm not doing it because I'm mean-spirited. I'm doing it, just to have fun, just to pass the time. But it only takes one or two occasions to where you got to kind of be careful of who you dealing with in the workplace and etc. Because if you crack a joke and somebody takes it the wrong way, they can end up reporting that to the supervisor or HR. Even if it wasn't your intent to offend them or to harm them in any way. Even if you're just going back and forth, just trash talking and joking. You know, there's certain people, if you make a joke to them and they get offended, a lot of the times they probably dealing with some kind of baggage, some kind of insecurity based off that joke that you told them. But if you dealing with somebody and you able to crack jokes with them and they can actually laugh at themselves, that person is confident. You can proceed on carrying those jokes. But if you cracking jokes with somebody and they get upset, they get hurt, they're insecure. That's how you tell a difference between somebody that's insecure and somebody that's confident. And it's not always the person who's just sit there just quiet in the corner. Oh, they wouldn't hurt a fly. Let me take advantage of that person. You better be careful. You better be careful, because that same person could end up retaliating in the realest way. So you got to know who you dealing with out here. Now, the last one I got here listed is interaction with boldness. That's the law. That's the 28th law of the book, to interaction with boldness. And it gave examples of how you just being bold, even if you make a mistake, the fact that you was bold and you was aggressive with that action, that covers up a lot of mistakes. Let's be real. People admire bold people who ain't scared to stand up for themselves, who ain't scared to have the audacity to say something. We all admire bold people. So whatever your weaknesses are, whatever your flaws are, if you're a bold person, that takes away a lot of those weaknesses just right off the bat, man. I like how Ron Wills, shout out to Ron Wills, you should definitely check out his videos. He's motivating as well. He says there are times where you gotta come through the door with force. It's times where you can't be scared, you can't be timid about certain things. You gotta come through that door with force. If there's a job you want, apply for that job and go into the interview walking in there with some confidence. If there's a young lady you want to go holler at, don't be sitting there, don't be scared second guessing yourself. You go up there, hey, how you doing? My name is Omar, nice to meet you. You mind if I sit down? And start hollering at her. Even if she rejects you, she's going to respect you at the end of the day because you was bold with your actions. Who knows? She might even rethink some things. That's how powerful boldness is, man. So those are the 6 laws that I pretty much took away from the book thus far. Learn how to use your enemies and not put too much trust in friends. Guard your reputation with your life. Win through actions, not through arguments. Crush your enemy totally. Know who you're dealing with and don't offend the wrong people. And interaction with boldness. Once again, man, if you haven't got this book, man, I encourage you to get this book and read it. Not only read it, meditate on it, write some things down, because this book right here is a game changer. Game changer. So that's my video for today. I will holler at y'all later.